Before we get to the candidate forum, we have our community speaker program. Each community speaker will have 2 to 5 minutes to speak, and the time will be enforced by your extremely handsome moderator. So our first community speaker would be Rebecca Daly.
Well, welcome, and thank you so much for allowing me to have a few minutes to speak. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rebecca Daly. I'm the chair of the entire 9th Congressional District Committee. So just wanted to welcome all of you, also tell you how important it is to get out and vote for redistricting. Talk your friends into voting for redistricting. It's going to be a close vote. We do have signs in the back. They're much better graphics than the ones we had before. We're working on that. And for those of you wondering what we're doing on the 9th, we're preparing to take on, if redistricting passes or when it does, 9 new local committees. So we will have 37 local committees, mostly rural, in the 9th district. That gives us one heck of a lot of rural power. And that's how I'm looking at it. So we may be red to start out, but we're going to change that. So does anybody have any questions about the 9th District Committee or anything that we're doing on it? No? Well, good. Well, thank you. Thank you. You got a question?
Yeah, the 9th district's already the size of the state of New Jersey. How much additional land will we take?
We're going to have about a third of the state, land-wise, to the 9th District. We're going to go all the way up to Highland County. So yeah, pretty substantial. Feel for the candidates that are in the room that are running for Congress. And for me, because I do a lot of driving, going to committees and trying to help people build and grow and that kind of thing. But I do think it gives us enough power that at least we can make some changes at a state level in how they treat rural people and rural candidates, which I think is really important. We need that. So thank you for all of you and all you do to activate your areas to bring new people in. Thank you to all the chairs sitting in the room. I know how hard you work, and we appreciate you. Thanks.
Our next community speaker, Heather Burris.
I don't know everybody in this room, so for those of you who don't know me, I was actually born and raised in the Republican Party in Southwest Virginia. My grandmother, my whole family. So I ended up leaving that party a couple decades ago and getting involved locally. I went back to school to get a degree in political science. I left that party because they no longer represent the working class and because they've left women behind. I care about the working class people. I'm a working class person from a working class family. I care about women. I have 2 daughters. I care about equality. And all those things are supposed to be ingrained and protected in our Constitution, as is our democracy, and all that is on the line with the current administration. So I appreciate everybody that's in the room today and all the hard work that you have been doing. We've got some great candidates. Mine's take on Morgan Griffith. And it's never been more important. We've got a party in power that is literally protecting those that abuse women and children. Exactly. And so we have a lot of work to do, and I just want to thank you all for being here today, and I encourage you, if you're not involved in your local communities, to come out and help us, because it is going to take all of us, we the people, to get this work done. Thank you so much.
First of all, a couple of shout outs here and a couple of PSA. One, to shout out this event. This was his event. He's put in so much work to it that you can tell. Is Chris Brooks, our vice chair. I've been thinking the month of March and couldn't help you more, but and then also shout out to our chair, Heather Moses. You just heard from her. So put this our local committee. When I first kind of came back locally, I mean 4 or 5 people sometimes at these, and they tripled that, they quadrupled that. Okay. And it's mainly because of Heather and Chris's work. So, and we've got a lot of new young people here, and we were real happy to kind of hand that baton over to that younger generation as far as leadership and stuff in the party. So that's that. Second, here's the PSA part I want to talk. Got 2 different phone calls from other chairs, other counties, a little bit too far away to come here today. They called me, and they were independent. It's kind of funny. They were independent calls, and they hadn't talked to each other. And they said, John, if you get to speak to our 3 candidates, Joy, Adam, Mr. Crockett back there, they want you to know one thing. Unfortunately, there's only one winner in this primary, but both them chairs and us 2. No matter who wins, loses, or draws this, we want y'all to stay committed. We want y'all to stay involved. And there are other races to run, whoever wins this game. Here locally, gosh, we've not done a good enough job. Somebody that wanted to run, they didn't get the nomination, we didn't keep them, okay? And we just want to make sure all 3 of you come after this election, y'all are involved, because there's other things we got to run you guys with, ladies, whoever it might be, and we need you to stay involved, and we need you, okay? And y'all, I know no candidate wants to run in a primary because we know the work y'all done, okay? It's a lot of work, but as far as doing good for the party, this primary run has been awesome. It's got numbers up, it's got their message out there in such a much longer period of time. So when this primary is over with, we just need to keep it going. And like I said, just y'all keep involved, and look forward to working with y'all in the future. So thank you very much.
Our community speaker is Mr. Chris Burris.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We appreciate you being here. We are a small but growing, energized community. And today I just want to talk about the redistricting fight. We are in the middle of a national battle, and we are sitting right in the intersection of that battle. And basically what the federal government is trying to do is extend their power, overreach, suppress voters, and decide who decides elections. Our democratic values say that we have to step up to this challenge. And we're not giving away anything we're not taking away anybody's rights. We're not giving away our district. This is a temporary solution to a national assault on civil rights. And if we don't step up to that, we may lose this country forever. So please come out, vote early, show up, and vote yes on the redistricting ballot. Thank you.
Community speaker, Mike Gulley.
Thank you. It's always an honor to get together with fellow Democrats and see how things are going. We have a few of our own members from Dickinson County. I'm the chair of Dickinson County. And all the Dickinson County people, raise your hand, please. And what we try to do is, as a group, especially in Dickinson County, I've been here all my life, and it's important to not lose our focus. Sometimes we get complacent, and sometimes we say, well, my vote don't count. We need every vote. Like Christmas said, there is an assault on all of us. If it's on one of us, it's on all of us. And so we have to get out, get energized, and get people to get to the polls. It's the most important to get to the polls. We've had 2 of our candidates in Dickinson County, Adam and had Joy to come and speak, and also we're going to have Mr. Crockett going to come and speak, and we have a lot to talk about because he plays sports, and I like sports. But as for myself, I got into this because I saw what was going on, and I grew up in the '60s, and I got 4 girls, and they don't believe that I went to a segregated school. What? Yes, I did. My first year of school, I went to a segregated school. And things are going to change just a little bit more, the segregation part. And it's assault on a lot of people, but we don't want to go back. We don't want to go back. Going back was a mistake. If we go back, it's a mistake anyway. So we got people who want to take us back, but let's not accept that. Little Dickinson County itself, when we vote, and if you look at the numbers, we're small, but percentage-wise, we're better than anybody else because we get the people out to vote. And our motto is, one voter at a time. One voter at a time. You're not going to change. Things have changed over the years, and it'll take a while to change it back. Because when we had the union, UMWA, and I'm a UMWA man, my family was. and everything was, it was blue. And once the union left and people left with it, and now we're into the point, we're solid red. But we may be red, but I'm seeing blue, and we're going to see blue. And we're going to work for everybody. It takes a lot of work. Sometimes it gets tiresome, but it takes a lot of work. And whoever wins, I have no idea, but whoever wins, please support that candidate. We all have to support all our candidates, all the candidates, whether it's local, which may be in town elections, which may be in county elections, all elections, we have to support each other. And if we do that, we can hold back what we think that we can represent all the people, not because they're Democrats, because they are people and they are human beings. So don't fall for that old trick. Our enemy is the ones who don't look like us. Our enemies are the ones who are trans. That's a gimmick. They're all people just like us. I'm a pastor, and I believe that we should love everybody. Now, don't get me preaching about this now, because it's true. We should love everybody. There's nobody, we may not see eye to eye, but they're human beings. And it's up to God to judge anybody anyway. It's not us. So as a party, let's represent everybody. And I hear it all the time about, well, why they do trans, why they do, there's bigger issues out there. There's bigger issues nationwide. And look at the big picture. How the administration is taking the whole country down. Yes. It is a mess out there. It's a big mess. And I don't see it getting any better. So please, let's endorse all these candidates and do all we can to take Griffin out.
Yes. Yes.
Our next community speaker is Jessica Watts.
Thank you so much for that. I am the chair of the Bristol City Democrat Committee, and thank you. I'm also a public school teacher in the city of Bristol, and all of Southwest Virginia counts. So that is my motto, is that we cannot leave Southwest Virginia behind. No matter what happens, we are still here, we are still people, and we all still matter. So as I advocate for my kids at school, my own personal children, as the Bristol chair or the kindergarten teacher or the whatever hat I have on for that particular day, I will advocate for Southwest Virginia as the same for all of the state of Virginia. And our voices can be heard. We can be loud. We don't have to be obnoxious, but we can be loud. And that's pretty much how I think we should do. We need to be heard. And the only way we do that is to maybe be a little spicy when we need to be and be heard. I'm not afraid to talk to anybody that would tell me differently. So that's who I am. And if you're ever in Bristol, please come by.
Our next community speaker, Sherri Burris.
So my name is Sherri Burris. I'm running for the House of Delegates in the 46th District. And the 46th District consists of Witt, Smith, Grayson, and portions of Pulaski County. And I want you to take just a moment to speak to you about the Medicare cuts in Virginia and how that actually has a lot to do with our no and yes voting. So what happened in North Carolina? A lot of you do not know what happened in North Carolina with the redistricting in North Carolina has to do with Virginia and us not having our Medicare. When the administration, our current administration, Trump, went in and decided to just hand these people the seats, that we actually had that decision to vote for ourselves. They didn't have that decision in the state of North Carolina and other states. When he allowed them to do this, they gained 3 seats. And by having 3 seats, those lawmakers were able to turn the table and actually take away our Medicare benefits. And that is what's happening to us losing our hospitals in the state of Virginia. I don't know if you guys heard, but 10 were released this week, 10 hospitals. And by the next day, there was an 11th. 11 hospitals. I spoke to our Senator Kane this week, and he said, Sherri, there's going to be more in rural areas. So what's happening with these redistricting maps is going to be even more rural cuts. That means the great-grandmother in Pulaski County that I spoke to last week, who's deciding between her medication and her benefits, she has to choose. That's not right. The retired coal miner that I spoke to in Wise County, he said, I was just told that my Medicare benefits got taken away because I have black lung. That's not right. The person that I spoke to that is an executive director at a medical center in Wythe County, she said, I had 56 Medicare patients that I was so happy that I was able to give them prescription benefits. But now I can't. It's down to 18 because their Medicare was cut. And this all ties back to redistricting. So what I want you all to know that we have to, it's imperative, we all go out, if you haven't already, by April 21st and vote yes. Because this has a lot to do with more than maps and things of that nature. It has to do with our Medicare benefits. So again, I'm Sherri Burris, House of Delegates 46, and please meet me at the polls on April 21st.
Hello, Democrats. Hello, Democrats. I want to thank Wise County and City of Norton Democratic Committee for hosting this event. What a great turnout. I want to talk about my experience as running for a candidate. I was recruited for House of Delegates for District 44 last cycle, and that's all of Washington County, all of Bristol, Virginia, and two-thirds of Russell County. I was recruited by Dr. Ferdy Reed Jr. And about 2 weeks into that process, I said, whoa, I thought the Republicans were our only problem. First, I was told not to talk to Dr. Reed Jr., whose father is a Virginia civil rights icon. I was told only to run if I think I can win. I was approached by a local Dem chair to hire her as my campaign manager. What I discovered while running, the same Dr. Reed that I was told not to talk about never took a dime from my campaign. And he raised $5,400 for my campaign, along with 26 other rural candidates. If you do the math, that's over $145,000.
Yeah.
And that was for candidates that the state was ignoring. Yeah. So why am I sharing this? I want to warn other new candidates of organizations that will try to grift off their campaign. And I want to publicly thank Dr. Reed Sr. for paving the way for other Black candidates and his son for not giving up on Virginia.
Right.
He has already recruited 24 House candidates and 16 Senate candidates for 2027. So why is running candidates the number one thing we should be focusing on? It gives people someone to get behind. It shows people they can run too. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And it shows other Dems they don't have to hide. And we make the Republicans actually work for their votes. So I want to thank each candidate. I'm excited about some new candidates that are running and the candidates that are running now. And I want you to keep in mind, my opponent had not had a Democrat challenge him since he was elected in 2011. Why? I can't help but ask why. And I think it's because we've lost sight of the number one thing we need to be doing, recruiting and supporting candidates.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm excited to share we have a Dem running for Bristol, Virginia City Council for the first time. And if she is elected, she will be the first Black City Council person in the history of Bristol, Virginia. We have a new candidate running for the Bristol, Virginia City School Board. We have a Washington County Board of Supervisors candidate here today who will be speaking after me. And we have new leadership in the Bristol and Russell County Democratic committees. When we run candidates, things change, and we need to focus hyper-local level, school board, board of supervisors, city council, town council. There's no such thing as a perfect candidate. I did it, and it shows anyone can. Thank you.
Excuse me, can I point out that we have a gentleman here who's also running for Bristol City Council? Yes, we do, yes.
What's his name?
Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Elijah Walker. That's my best friend over there, David Brooks. Very smart, intelligent young man. He's going to make some very big changes for us today. I would love to hear him speak and just listen to his elaborate points. Member of City Council, my name is Elijah Walker. Thank you all for listening.
Elijah Walker, ladies and gentlemen. Our next community speaker, David Brooks.
Do I need this microphone for the cameras here?
No, it's whatever you like.
All right, cool. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is David Brooks. I'm from Bristol, Virginia, and I'm running for the Washington County Board of Supervisors in the Tyler District. Now, I'm not like every other candidate because hopefully you can see I'm really young. And I hate to brag, but I consider myself accomplished for my age. I'm a rising senior at Virginia Tech. I have done research on the urban and rural differences in educational attainment of a bachelor's degree, and even interned for U.S. Senator Tim Kaine in his Washington, D.C. office. Yeah. Now, I went ahead and did all of this at the age of 18.
Yeah.
But now I do hate to admit, I am growing old. I just turned 19 a couple days ago. My back is starting to hurt. All right, but today I'm not here to go on and on about my accomplishments. Instead, I'm here to tell you why this local election that isn't even in your county matters. I'm running on the issues of education, work opportunities, infrastructure, and the most important of them all, something I like to call rural debt. But I'll explain that at the end. When it comes to Washington County's education system, and really any education system within Southwest Virginia for that matter, they only prioritize one thing: not to educate our kids, but to push them into the workforce without having the chance to reach for the stars. We should be enabling them with the opportunities to become an astronaut, to become a lawyer, to become a businessman, or even the next president of the United States, because Lord knows we need one. Now, our schools lack advanced courses that make kids from Northern Virginia and Richmond be able to actually leave high school with the full understanding of liberal arts and STEM. We also don't encourage them to pursue professional careers. Instead, we ship them off to the NEP Center to learn trades. Now, there's nothing wrong with trades. Trades is how we function as a society. But why should our kids be working low-paying trade jobs when kids from better-off education systems, and you'll hear me say this a lot, Northern Virginia and Richmond, are able to leave high school and go to a comfy desk job getting paid the same or more? I think it's unfair that we're seen as only the working force of Virginia. Not only by the people in the urban areas of Virginia, but by our own local Republicans that are supposed to represent us. So, if elected, I'll propose that we build a new state-of-the-art high school in Abingdon that will be able to compete with the best schools in the state, with construction being assisted by the State School Construction Fund. With this new school, instead of dividing the high school funds between multiple high schools, we'll be able to place it all into one. When we centralize our extracurricular activities, it will save us even more money on things like uniform costs or general maintenance. And with that money, we're able to put that into STEM labs or getting more advanced courses so that our kids, our youth, our futures can go out and succeed in this world, not only as an electrician or a plumber or a carpenter, but as a lawyer or as a businessman or whatever they put their minds to. But with this brings another question. Well, David, where exactly are these job opportunities going to come from? Well, I'll tell you. But first, we have to expand broadband access throughout Washington County.
Right.
Yep, businesses are not going to come here if they have no internet. Second, we have to make Washington County competitive. While working with the Board of Supervisors, I will try to offer tax incentives for companies that bring real jobs here, especially ones that hire local workers and invest in our community. Third, we need to partner with schools and local employers. That means that we need to create internship pipelines, job training partnerships, and opportunities for our students to get an education and come back from college into careers, whether it is business, healthcare, technology, or the skilled trades.
1 minute left.
All right. Finally, we have to stop waiting for opportunity to find us. We have to go out and get it. We need to actively recruit businesses. We should market Washington County as a place where companies can succeed, where land is available, and where local leadership is ready to work with them. With me having a minute left, I will generalize the next paragraph. We need good infrastructure. That's a no-brainer. How are we going to have good businesses come in here with no roads? The potholes, I swear. In my first year in office, I will make sure that every pothole in the Tyler district is covered up. And we're going to improve the roads too. But all of these issues, and this is my second to last paragraph, all of these issues I have listed here actually do matter. Because all of these issues are contributing to the big thing I like to call rural death. Rural death is having stagnant or declining businesses. Rural death is our youth leaving to find better economic opportunities. Rural death is our roads being left to rot. And eventually, rural death is the literal death of rural communities in America. The quality of life in rural areas is important because if we do not reach and maintain that peak quality of life, people will find it elsewhere. People will die because a hospital was shut down or too far away. Our people will continue to labor away, working in the factories, in the coal mines, in the welding shops, just to have a broken body for the last 20 years of their life if they're lucky. If we do not advance, if we do not achieve, if we do not succeed in uplifting our counties and communities and cities, rural death is nothing but a given. So now I ask you, shall we let our kids move away to find better economic opportunities and quality of life when we can bring that here? You guys do want that? No. Shall we let people die because they have to drive 30 to 40 minutes to get to a hospital? Shall we let our future break their bodies by being exploited by the rich to only fill their pockets more? Then let us advance, for that is our only hope of survival. Let the Republic march behind us toward a new rural America to ensure that every man and woman, regardless of where they come from, has the opportunities to succeed in life without being held down by the chains of inaccessibility. Let the Washington County motto ring, our rich past and our promising future. Let us live and fight to prevent rural death, and let us as rural Americans have two priorities and two priorities only. That being to survive and thrive. Rural reconstruction is on the horizon, and to finish this long speech, God bless Wise County, God bless Washington County, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
David Brooks. And forgive me for mispronouncing, but our last community speaker is Alice Schlichting.
Yes, my name is Alice Schlichting. I am the current chair of the Russell County Dems, previously Dustin Keith. Thanks, Dustin, for getting it going. We're keeping it going and letting us get this far. We're thankful to still have Dustin helping us out and being with us all the time and helping me with everything that I don't know yet. But thank you all for being here. And the thing I want to really touch on today is kind of community engagement. Our committee with my one Russell County member here, Caleb, that joined me out here today, Caleb Ferguson, we and a couple others have been getting out and knocking doors, canvassing in Russell County, which hasn't really been done by our small committee of previously 6, and now we're up to 24. But we're really excited, and we've been getting out talking to people. And today we went through an apartment complex, and we didn't use a van, and we didn't pull any turf. We just knocked the apartment building. And we really had good feedback. Some of them weren't awake yet. When we woke them, they weren't very happy about it. But we even talked to the Republican folks. I mean, one lady I'll talk on specifically told us she was voting no. And we were very gentle with her. And we said, well, if you're interested, we still would like to hear from you why you feel like you should vote no and why we think you should vote yes. And she said yes. And thankfully, one of in our group knew her, and she invited us in. So we went in and we spoke with this lady. And she, I kind of started with the whole thing. You should do it like this, and Trump is doing that, and etc. She said, oh, what is gerrymandering? So all that to say, what I want to get across here is you've got to talk to people. Yeah. They're saying they're voting no just because they're told to vote no, and they don't know why. They don't know what voting no means, and they don't know what that's going to do to them. They see the commercials and they say, oh, it's going to raise my taxes. This has nothing to do with your taxes. This has nothing to do with funding illegals. It has to do with protecting our voices, not taking them away, and fighting back against an authoritarian government. And don't just talk to the folks that already agree with you. I think all of you in this room probably have already made a plan or already moved. You gotta talk